G'day, I'm Nigel Roberts, Leading Biosecurity Officer with the established invasive animals team at Agriculture Victoria. In this video, I'll be walking you through the steps to conduct a rabbit warren ripping program to control rabbits on your property. Warren ripping is the best way to achieve long-term rabbit control because when you target the warren, you remove the rabbit's ability to effectively breed, re-establish and rebound. Before you conduct a ripping program, you must be aware of certain legal considerations. Assess that you are not disturbing any culturally significant areas, as causing harm to an Aboriginal place can carry large penalties. Certain situations will also require relative permits to remove native vegetation or conduct ripping works on waterways. And you should always use the dial before you dig service to find any services in your project area before you start. If you don't have the machinery yourself, please employ an experienced machine operator. It's important to monitor your property before undertaking a ripping program. Monitoring helps to identify where all rabbit warrens are located and will help you confirm that the warrens are being used by rabbits and not native wildlife. During this time, you can look for footprints, scratchings, dung and fur, and signs of damage. Greater success is achieved by removing all the warrens in a short period of time as opposed to spread out over a number of breeding events, so ensure you are thorough in your search and you find all warrens. Most ripping contractors will have GPSs in their machines, so marking warren locations with a GPS waypoint and providing that data to contractors will help them find the quickest path to rip every warren. Monitoring should always be used in any rabbit management program to measure its effectiveness. We have a separate video you can watch on how to effectively conduct a monitoring program. In the next part of the video, I'll talk about the warren ripping process. The first thing you need to think about is timing. You can undertake ripping at any time of the year, but it is most effective when rabbit numbers are low. If you have high rabbit numbers, you should consider conducting a baiting program to reduce numbers immediately prior to ripping. Baiting is best conducted in the summer break when other food sources are scarce, and ripping immediately after provides great results as soils are friable and warrens will be easier to rip and will have better chance to collapse. We cover the process for conducting a rabbit baiting program in another video in this series. It is also worth considering talking to and coordinating control efforts with neighbours, as landscape scale control programs have far more success than individuals working in isolation. To undertake warren ripping, you'll need a bulldozer or excavator, or maybe both, depending on the landscape and the terrain of your property. The bigger the machine, the deeper they will be able to rip, and the more effective they will be at completely collapsing warrens. Dozers are generally quicker and they can rip larger areas, as they usually operate with 2 or 3 tines located at the back of the machine. They also have a lower centre of gravity than excavators, so can work in steeper terrain. Excavators are better for ripping warrens in heavy vegetation, rocky outcrops and around farm infrastructure, as they are more manoeuvrable and the single tine at the front can operate around and under obstacles. Although it can be a large upfront cost when using large machinery, the benefit for effective long-term rabbit control can pay for itself in just a few years. These benefits are even greater when you work with your neighbours to share costs and cover larger areas. It's a good idea to employ a spotter to work in front of the machine to mark out the warren entrances with flags or landscape chalk. This will help the machine operator make sure parts aren't missed, as the view from the inside of the cabin is quite limited. The spotter can also check warrens immediately after they have been ripped to ensure the job has been successfully completed. Rip lines should be no more than 50 centimetres apart, and operators should take time to cross-rip if safe to do so. Cross-ripping involves making a second series of rip lines at right angles to the first. The operator should also make sure that rip lines reach a depth of at least 50 centimetres and deeper if possible. The deeper the better. Use your judgment based on the soil type and the height of the water table, or you can ask the machine operator to dig a trench across the first warren to see how deep you should rip before you start. Warrens should also be ripped 4 metres beyond the extent of the outer entrances. These steps will maximise the chance of fully collapsing the warren. Finally, ripped warrens should be then backbladed and track rolled to leave a flat and compacted surface. This makes sure the warren site is less attractive for outside rabbits to return and dig back in, and also helps to reduce soil erosion. Shortly after your ripping program has been completed, it's important to revisit all of the rip sites to fumigate any warrens that may have reopened or re-rip if there are a number of large reopenings. We will cover the fumigation process in another video in this series. Ripping is the most effective method at destroying rabbit warrens. Targeting the warrens will break the rabbit breeding cycles, allowing you to achieve long-term control. You should consider baiting to reduce rabbit numbers immediately before a ripping program to increase the effectiveness of control. Consider working with your neighbours, as you may be able to share the cost of employing a contractor with machinery, and control programs at landscape scales have greater impact than working in isolation. Choose the right machine to give the greater chance for warrens to be destroyed, and use a spotter to help guide the machine and check the success of ripping. You should continue to monitor for reopenings in the weeks and months after ripping. Please watch the other videos in this series for information on other control methods for rabbits, and visit the Agriculture Victoria website or call our customer service centre if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.